Welcome to Biz Agi Process Modeler. This is a tool, it's a free download, and you can use it to take steps in a process or a procedure and map them visually. You could try and do it in Word or another program, but it's very difficult. So yes, it's a new program to learn, and I can hear people crying, I'm too busy, but the point would be if you invest a little bit of time in learning it, you'll save a lot of time because it's much easier in a shared partnership to compare processes and form new ones if you can see them visually. No one wants to read through pages and pages of a procedure. So this is one way to do it. It's also a process where it really forces you to think about the steps you take, which is really important as well, because often what you put in a procedure isn't really what happens in reality. So the first thing we do when you've opened it up, right click on this process 1 box, which we won't use, and cut it so we can start fresh. Now all the little items you'll need are in the side menu here, and if you hold your mouse over them for a second or so, it'll explain what they traditionally do. But really you want to sort of shift the way you use this around to what's comfortable. So I'm just going to show you how we used it. So you want to start an event. Start of a process starts here. You drag and drop the item over into the menu, and then you get a few things on the side, your options. A task is generally the box, so we'll click on that, hold the left mouse button down, and drag it to where we want it to go. Okay. And then by double clicking on the text, we get a cursor, we highlight, and we can change what it says in the box. Now let's assume this is a stationary hiring process. So you might first of all have to check, well, the first step might be staff add requirements to list. Okay. Now the next step, if you want to do another task, same thing, you drag and drop it. Okay, so we'll get a series of tasks depending on how complicated your process is. So the next thing might be the admin checks list. Now, commonly in a process, it's going to split. Certain decisions will have to be made, or things affect how it goes. So in this case, let's say in a station, let's say we're bulk purchasing. So we'd use the diamond to indicate that there's a decision that's made at this point. So you double click on the diamond and you get the cursor underneath. So we can state this how we would, but we can go let's say we go is there $50 worth of items to order? Okay. And then I tend to use a little double circle for this. You got really two ways they can go. So clicking back on the diamond will allow you to add more than one item. Now you'll note that this one here, what's called the swim lane, the arrow, is a little out of whack. So you'll see a red point and a green point. If you left click on the green point and drag, you'll see that you can move the arrow to where you want. So we'll just move that to line up. Now in this case we'll say no, and this one can represent yes. Okay, so now we've got two ways it can go. Now in this case, if there's not enough to order, we probably go back to the first point. So processes often loop around, in which case you want to grab a swim lane here, arrow, drag it onto the main part, click to get the points, connect one here, and the other one connects here. So we can see that the process is cyclical. It goes around and around until we get to $50 worth, in which case there's a task that leads off here. And you could say order from Officeworks. Now that's a very simple one, but it gives you an idea of you'll need to be open to the project, give it a go, to the program, give it a go and try and see how you can make it work for you. you'll find that it'll save time in the long run if you're seriously looking at smoothing out processes or discussing them with larger groups. Okay, and that's pretty much that.